We've had this debate internally at Notion. We've gone full both ends of the spectrum on this, where it's like code is water, it doesn't matter, it all depends on the output. It depends on the correctness, on the tests, on the verification. And then we've swung all the way to the other side, where it's like, no, you need to read every little detail. You can't trust these models. But I think that I've landed somewhere in the middle. And who really convinced me is a peer of mine. His name's Geoffrey Litt, who works at Notion. And he summed it up really well. He said, I'm going to paraphrase, you need to, understanding what is going on earns you the right to participate. And that really struck a chord with me, because it made me realize, if I don't actually understand what's going on, then who is steering who? And so I've come down to, I read the code. I am not very pedantic about the code, but I need to at least understand what's going on. And sometimes reading the code is not literally reading the code, but getting summaries of it and understanding the high level of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I think my view is sort of similar to yours. I think a lot of this is subjective to what you're trying to do with it, right? Like, is it like just a vibe coded dashboard, or I don't know, like a game? Then probably you're wasting your time reading the code, right? But then there comes code bases which are mission critical. So for example, our Codex harness, which is open source, we have a standing policy that if you don't understand what you're merging in the PR, or if you're asking for a review on a PR where you don't understand, then go back and close the PR. And because it's like, just the sheer amount of laptops that are running that, sheer amount of VMs that are running that, and in so many untrusted locations, you want to be 100% sure. And I think the average person probably has this in somewhere in the middle, right? And I feel like over there, you can define your own sort of like set of skills to review. You can define your own set of like principles on what is it that is important to you. But I feel like it really depends on the severity of what you're working on. Right?
So for us, it's a bit different. Like who does code reviews here? Is an engineer and does code reviews? Yeah, so the usual. Like, we don't do those. First of all, we never did this because when Peter and I started the company, we knew each other for years, and so we would just push code, and we kept this until now. And so for us, it was never really like a massive difference, because you're not really looking at other people's code. So then it's more like, what do you do? And because we like build a product for ourselves, and I think this is the same for all of us, you have this like feedback loop. You push the code, you test it immediately, and you see if your functionality-wise breaks something, which I think, to your point, that's really what matters to us more, the functionality or like the UX or whatever, instead of like the raw code in whatever language it is.
I kind of want to circle back to, so you have this standing policy that if you don't understand the code, you have to delete it or you go backwards, right? How practically, that's like unenforceable. Like, is it, right? Like, how do you enforce that? Is it a culture thing? Like, yeah, how do you actually enforce that?
So it's mostly we do enforce reviewers, right? So we do want changes to at least go through one pair of sort of like human eyes, and also we do have a lot of skills which would help the reviewer understand what's happening, so that they're not wasting the entire day just like reviewing each and every PR. And again, as I said, like, it's not all like human review, right? Like, you do want to have potentially Codex looking at your PR as soon as it's ready for review. You want to, have some local skills. You want to have like good agents.md or, Claude.md for those who swing that way. And I probably took the most extreme example in this case, right? But for example, I maintain our developer surfaces. In those cases, as long as Codex is happy with it, in most cases, I'm like, this is good. LGTM, I will raise my own PR. The Obama giving himself medal. Like, I'm like, this is good. Thank you so much. And, Codex will also give me a thumbs up and all good. But yeah.
It's interesting because I find myself, like, when Mitchell wrote that tweet, I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Like, I want to be this person. There's a little bit of like an identity thing happening there, which is like, yes, I want to be the kind of person who reads the code.
Yeah.
Occasionally, I'm not reading the code. I'm not going to lie to you.